going on, everybody? It's your boy Chip, back at you from RVA Vapes. And today we're talking about the e-cig Edge from our buddies at Joyetech. This is a salt style pin with a replaceable coil pod. Welcome. So we've got the e-cig Edge today from our friends at Joyetech. And as you can see, it's a sample. I open it up, it's a tube, so it's a little bit different than most of the stuff I've seen. But it's still cool packaging. I like what they did here. So that's it. That's all your contents right there. Obviously your warranty card, priming the coil. This is an extra little fill spout you can see right there. Micro USB charger. And your two coils. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. It's fairly small, simple. You got your button right here. Light comes on. There's your charge port right there. And the thing I like about this guy is it is a changeable coil. Take this jam apart right here. Boop. So you can see it is a 1.2 ohm coil. Nice and small there. It's your beauty ring. See, that's good and primed. Then you just screw it into the casing here, or your pod. See your little fill spot right there. Pop that guy open. And there she is, all filled up and ready to go. So now that you got an up close look at it, we're going to back it up and play with it a little bit, show you guys the finer ins and outs. This is probably to date one of my favorite pod systems that we've had so far. It's got a couple cool things going on for it. First, the metal construction with the form factor, super solid. The pod system with the actual changeable coil is a huge step forward in salt nic vaping. Now the airflow on this guy, you can see right there, it's a tiny little hole and it does convert to the top of the drip tip there for you. This probably has the best airflow design overall. Aside from the Mi pods, those are really well designed as well for the airflow. But this guy definitely has a lot going for it. If you're in the market or you're interested in the salt nic stuff and looking to get something that's a higher concentration of nicotine, more like a stealth vape, or you just don't want a big bulky cloud machine, if you will, then I would definitely look into the e-cig Edge from Joyetech. We have them at RVA Vapes here. They're fairly inexpensive, and the coils will be coming in probably next week, I believe. But the flavor on this thing is amazing because you're still using the organic cotton style coil that we've been using in sub-ohm vaping for years, but they've applied it to the salt nic stuff and it really helps the flavor pop. The pod itself is 2 mils, so it holds a decent amount of juice. Not the biggest I've seen, but it's definitely not the smallest. But if you look at it closely, you can see that the coil itself takes up a substantial amount of that pod. So I'm sure the overall capacity is a little bit more than that, but the organic cotton coil that's in there is definitely taking up a majority of the space. So let's talk about the design. Obviously you've got your pod or your cartridge right here, and that just pops in and out. Believe it's held with a press fit type of design, but it does have little ridges, so it kind of, you can hear it clicks in place a little bit. The big black panel is your fire button. Then you've got your indicator lights on the bottom there and your micro USB charge. The specs on this guy are 110 millimeters tall, 26.5 millimeters wide, and then front to back it's a depth of about 20 millimeters. So it's not the smallest thing in the world, but it's definitely not the biggest thing in the world either. We did say it's got the 2 milliliter juice capacity, and it's got a 650 milliamp hour battery, and it comes with the mouth to lung 1.2 EX coil, they're calling it. Like we said, it's a zinc alloy construction. The rubber grippy on the fire button is smooth, but it's got a nice texture to it. The LEDs are a super cool touch. They look awesome. And the micro USB port has got a nice casing around it as well, so it's going to be a little bit sturdier. The changeable coil head, again, is a huge step forward in my opinion. It's just like changing any other coil. Screw it in, screw it out, just like a light bulb. Super easy to use, and it gives you the option to refill over and over and over and over and over, as long as you're changing that coil every once in a while. Now, we did talk about the fill port. I just want to show you a little bit closer version. You can see that little rubber grommet right there. It just flips right up, and they do give you a spare in the box as well, which is a great touch, I think. Oh, I was using it the wrong way. So boop, see that little flap right there, flips right up, and then you just push it down, and it fits right along with the contour of the pod itself. So very nice design on Joyetech's part. We talked about the air intake. It's definitely coming from the bottom of the coil. You got the little hole right there, you can see from the bottom of the coil, but you've also got the little airflow notch in the device itself, you can see. So that all kind of works together, and if you look at it closely, they've beveled out that little area right there, and that's where it goes through here down to the bottom of the coil and back up through the mouthpiece. Got some really cool colorways on this one. I believe there's 6 altogether, so we're going to throw those up right now. Now, the other thing that I learned about the pod is it's a new type of plastic called PETG, which is recyclable, but it's also got a little bit better density than your typical PET plastics that a lot of people are using. So you're not going to get any leaching from the plastic itself with the higher milligram salt nicks and stuff like that. So that was a really cool extra kind of bonus that they threw in there, or step forward again in the industry. Now, the way the battery light works is if you hold it and it stays lit, like it's not doing there. If it stays lit like that, you got 60 to 100% battery life. If it slowly flashes, then you're looking at 60 to 30%, and if it starts flashing quicker, then it's less than 30%, and if it's flashing really, really fast, then you're less than 10%, and you probably want to charge it. The micro USB is a 1 amp charge, I believe. Looks like it. Yeah, it's a 1 amp charge, but with the 650 milliamp hour battery in here, it's still not going to take very long to charge it up. You're talking maybe an hour tops, probably closer to half an hour. But I've found that in using this device, the 650 milliamp hours lasts me almost 2 full days, and that's constantly using it. I didn't use anything else, just to test the overall battery life, and it performed phenomenally. So all that being said, let's talk about performance. As you can see, with that 1.2 ohm coil head, you definitely get a good flavor and decent vapor production, but with it being salt nicotine, that's more than enough. I've found that this is probably one of the best flavor salt nic devices that I've had my hands on so far. The flavor on it is tremendous. It's got just the right amount of airflow to where you're not blowing a large vape cloud, but it's definitely more substantial than like a Juul or a Bow or anything like that. And with the way that the coil's designed, I feel like I get even more intense flavor than a lot of the mainstream stick devices. So this one is definitely 2 thumbs up performance wise. So that about wraps it up for this video, guys. We do have these in stock, so I'm going to throw up the coupon code right here so you can get yours for 10% off at shop.rvavapes.com. And last but not least, thank you for watching our video. Please click the subscribe button and click the little bell to get our notifications. We do upload new videos every Saturday, so you can see the latest and greatest here at RVA Vapes. And finally, if you want to smoke, that's your business. If you don't, come see it.